So what we've gone to is really understanding when to stimulate the plant, because if you think about the basis, and I won't have time to really share a ton here in an hour, right? But water extract organic carbon should be the first thing you look at in a soil test. Why? Because it's the fuel. It's the fuel that runs the system. If you don't have it, don't buy biology, trust me, because biology is not going to work unless you've got the right biology that can actually create this carbon on its own. And you're going to hear from people at the end of the day here or in the afternoon talking about that, I'm sure. But my point is that's your trump card. The higher the amount of carbon, the faster you can cycle these nutritional balls and feed that crop. If you don't have the carbon and you go out and push too much for microbes, what you're going to find is you're going to have yield collapses. And the reason you'll have yield collapses is because any microbe you apply is always, the only way they're going to be active is if they're feeding. Okay, that's what keeps them active. So if I'm a microbe and I'm active and I'm feeding, I'm going to work for that plant. I'm going to bring that plant food, because that's why I'm sitting in its rhizosphere. That's the reason why I want association, because I want every drop of sugar that plant gives me, I want to eat it. Okay? In a by process, I'm giving it back fertility. Well, once that soil runs out of carbon, or enough food source to slow that system down, you don't get the back half fed. The back half of the season, you're not going to get fed, because I've consumed all the easily available sugars in this system, and now I'm slowed down and I'm basically sluggish. I had great food, now you're starving me. Once I get starved, I'm not going to work for you. So a lot of times in these programs, the most yield that's ever made in a cornfield is always going to be a week prior to tassel to 3 weeks after tassel. That's the most money you can ever make in a cornfield. Any grower that I've ever had over 350, they've been focused on that 4 to 5 week period for years. It's a huge part of it. Not to say that the rest of it's not important, because you got to set the structure of a plant, you got to do things, set the roots right, that type of thing too. But you really can't have a bad day a week before to 3 weeks after. What happens at that period of time? What's typically happening at that period of time is we're going through stress. I mean, it's easy to have decent weather in May and June. Well, nothing's easy anymore, but May, June, and July. But you get into late July and August, typically we're getting hotter and drier, we got more stress. When we have stress, everything we ask that plant to do, it's costing that plant sugar to do it, everything. So when we apply nitrogen, we apply nitrate, most of us do, especially in season. Well, when that plant has to take up nitrate, it's spending a lot of its currency, the sugar that it creates within its system, to convert that nitrate to nitrite, to amino acids, to a protein, okay? That's what it's doing, or nitrite, ammonium, amino acids, peptides. It's a long chain, but my point is it costs that plant energy to do it.